Hey, I'm Chrissy and I own Subala843.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to have your optimal morning and starting your day right. And this is going to be kind of what the yogis do, right? So I teach yoga, I have a degree in kinesiology and recreation, I am an expert at the human body anatomy. And so when we want to talk about starting our day right, it's actually, it really starts in the evening before with getting a good night's rest. And getting a good night's rest means that you're not resting with a full stomach. So it happens actually way earlier in the evening than what you would think. It actually starts with having an earlier dinner and a lighter dinner, right? Not high fat, not high protein, something at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, so that by 9 o'clock when you are going to go to sleep, 8 o'clock when you're going to go to sleep, that you don't have that heaviness and that fullness in your stomach. I don't know anybody in the world that tells me that they have a good night's sleep when they had pizza at 10 p.m. and try to go to bed at 10:45 at night. It just doesn't happen. You wake up in the middle of the night because you have to urinate, you're groggy, your belly's grouchy, like nothing really works well when you eat that late and that heavy in the evening. So starting the day right actually starts with having an earlier, lighter dinner the evening before and getting a good night's rest. When we talk about in the morning and we talk about when maybe your alarm clock goes off, we want to actually not use an alarm clock. We want to get up with the sun. And so having all of your blinds open, letting the sun come into your room is going to be the easiest, most natural way to wake up in the morning. Of course, you might have a job or a position where you need to have that alarm clock waking you up in the morning, and that is absolutely acceptable and okay. But when you can, we want to have the sun wake you up. And so that sun comes into your room maybe about 5:30, 6 o'clock, sometimes 7 o'clock in the morning in the wintertime. That's okay. And that sun is so integral for our eyes. So getting that morning daylight where the sun is like that golden color and the clouds are like that golden bluish gray color, that's going to be super restorative for your circadian rhythms. They say that actually seeing the sunrise, the light of the day in the sunrise and in the sunset, helps you recycle that circadian rhythm. So seeing that morning sunlight is vital to your performance of that day. So you're waking up at about 6-ish, we'll say, depending on the season, depending on what time that sun comes into your room. And one of the first things that you should do is your self-care, right? So this would be getting enough water in the morning. You have been severely dehydrated. Hopefully you got 8 hours of sleep, and in that 8 hours of sleep you were sleeping, not waking up to urinate, not waking up to get your water, anything like that. So you want to have water in the morning. Yogis, we like to have room temperature water or warm, lukewarm water, and it's okay to put a squeeze of lemon in it. This will not break your fast. A squeeze of lemon does not mean a whole entire lemon, and you're not eating the pulp of the lemon. It's just for flavor, and that helps kickstart your liver. And so that starts your bile production, and it's just very, very good and restorative to start with water in the morning for hydration. Don't start your morning with coffee. Coffee is very dehydrating. It is a diuretic, and it actually paralyzes or can paralyze your digestive system. So we don't want that to happen. We want you to start your morning off with some lukewarm water. Lemon is optional if you want to. Next thing that we would do would be breathe and move. And so within 20 minutes of waking up, you can have a breathing practice and a movement practice. This is not your morning workout, and it is not your workout by any means. It's just getting the body up and running. And so an easy yoga class in the morning, about 20 minutes would be fine. Walking the dog for 20 minutes would be fine. Light, gentle stretches, primal movements, anything like that for 20 minutes in the morning. Get your breathing started and get your body warmed and ready for the whole entire day. That breathing is important so that we start that oxygen production, right? So we incorporate more oxygen into our bodies from sleeping all night. So when you're sleeping, you have a very, very shallow breathing. It's only basically bringing oxygen to like the upper quadrants of your lungs instead of in the deepest lobes of the lungs. So that movement would demand the body more oxygen, and that oxygen is going to be very, very wakeful. People get sleepy when they have oxygen deprivation. So water in the morning, waking up with the sun, breathing and moving in the morning are going to be vital for starting your day right and having one of those good mornings. So after your morning meditation and after your breathing and moving, the next thing that you'll want to do is you'll want to break your fast. And that's why it's called breakfast, because you are breaking your fast. And so ideally you would have stopped eating the night before, maybe at about 5 p.m., 6 p.m. And so you can break your fast anywhere after 13 hours if you are intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is a very, very popular buzzword lately, but it's actually been around for ages. It's actually what the hunters and gatherers did as their food style, not necessarily diet. And so after your morning movement, it would be time to break your fast. And we would love for you to break your fast with, dark leafy greens, maybe some sort of dark leafy green smoothie, a lot of high protein, high fiber, and good fruits and vegetables, right? So we want to stay away from all of your plastic and packaged. Plastic and packaged is the thing that I tell my students all the time, but you don't want to have any of this man-made created stuff. So stay away from your cereals, stay away from your synthetic milks. You just really want to go for those dense, nutrient-dense greens like your kale and your spinach. Your bananas would be good, especially because of the electrolytes that they have in them. You really want to replenish what you have lost in the last 13, 16 hours if you're intermittent fasting. Next thing that you would do after your breakfast, after you break that fast, would be to prioritize your day. And maybe you did this when you were journaling using that Ivy Lee method, but maybe you hadn't. And so it would be, what are you going to do today? How are you going to, roll through your day? Maybe you have appointments all day. Maybe you have a very, very long to-do list. But using that Ivy Lee method by prioritizing these things would be setting you on the right path to have a successful day. Next thing that we would do as far as starting our day right is going to be your self body care practices. So you're brushing your teeth, you are scraping your tongue, you are swishing your mouth out with coconut oil. That would be called oil pulling. Oil pulling is going to be where you get about a tablespoon of coconut oil, place it in your mouth and swish it around for 5, 8, 10 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes. Some people go to 20. It's absolutely not necessary, but that oil is an antimicrobial. And that oil it's called oil pulling because you're pulling this oil through the crevices and cracks of your teeth, and that pulls that bacteria out. It's definitely different than just swishing your mouth out with Listerine or a mouthwash or something like that. It actually doesn't burn at all because it's an oil base. People also like to use sesame oil. It's very, very restorative and a good solver for any kind of microbiome damage that maybe your mouth has had. And so you're brushing your teeth, you're oil pulling, you're tongue scraping. Using a neti pot is optional for your nasal care. So this goes into a lot of your sensory organ care also. So your mouth, your nose, your eyes, your ears, your skin. So your self and body practices, this would include anything with your shower habits, anything with your bathroom habits, anything with your oral care habits in the morning. And that would be another way that you can start your day right. To start your day right, I have some do's and don'ts for you. I do want you to start your day right and have a big glass of lukewarm water, warm water, maybe with lemon in it. Maybe not if you don't like the lemon idea. You can use lime also or another citrus. I do want you to breathe and move in the morning first. I do want you to prioritize your task list so that you are successful for the day. I do want you to take some time for yourself by journaling or meditating and breathing and moving. And I do want you to have your self-body practices. I do not want you to start your day with the radio and the absent-minded scrolling on TikTok and Instagram and coffee. I don't want you to start your day right in the morning with coffee. You can have coffee. You can have coffee if you want to, but have your water first and then caffeinate after you hydrate. Okay, I don't want you to start your day in a rush. I don't want you to start your day late. And so sometimes that means we have to wake up an hour or an hour and a half before our first priority that morning so that you can have your morning practices right. And what you'll realize is that when you start your day right, it sets you up for success so that you have a perfect day, you get all of your task lists done, and then you can go into your evening. And that would then set up for you to have a great evening. And that would get us into our earlier and lighter dinners. That would get us into our nutrition. That would get us into our family communication time, our family bonding time, maybe even some exercise or another task list after dinner. Okay? My name is Chrissy. Thank you for watching, and visit me at subala843.com.